This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 17. Also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. Verse 18. Therefore hear, ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Verse 19. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it. Shalom, kol haloyam wahawa la Yahweh b'Hashem Yahushai b'Hashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, along with the bishops, Wazaquanium, who rule and teach the church well, and salutations to the house of David, by Doadah, the elect. I'm Shamar, back with another lesson, and this is old news by now, but there's an article, caught my attention through the Spirit, and Salakia, before I go any further, today is Thursday, August the 14th, 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance and of Esau's destruction and judgment. And you see the headline, this is off the Independent, right? Charlie Kirk, right? Esau, the so-called white man, maggot, calls for what? Full military occupation of American cities once we liberate D.C. So these Edomites, all right, are being stirred up, okay, and riled up. Their fearless leader is drumming up support, okay, and these Edomites are ready, all right, to unload on you so-called, especially you so-called Negroes, all right, the tribe of Judah. They're ready to unload on you, man. They've been unloading, all right, on the northern kingdom, okay, and now it's Judah's turn, man. This devil's coming after you, man. Again, especially you so-called Negroes. All right, you Israelites are in dire straits and you have no idea. All right. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, this is the end for y'all, man. 2/3 of you anyway over here in Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, and ultimately, yeah, it's the devil being unleashed on you. But this is all from the heavens, man. This is all coming from the Almighty, Yahweh b'Hashem Yahushai. Because that's the time we're in, man. And again, reading out of the book of Jeremiah, the Lord sent you in his mercy, all right, prophets, okay? We're blowing the trumpet on a daily basis for the last 3.5+ decades, beginning with the elder apostle Har on down. And you've ignored it. You've ignored the trumpet. You've ignored the alarm. You've ignored the warning. All right, well, now it's time, again, for the Lord really ultimately to unload on you, especially you YNs, man, you thugs. All right? Yeah, they're coming after you, man. Full military occupation. We getting ready to experience everything that we read about in these prophecies, man. All right, the time of Jacob's trouble. Maggot influencer Charlie Kirk celebrated President Donald Trump's Liberation Day takeover of the nation's capital by calling for the Trump administration to unleash a full military occupation of other large American cities once we liberate Washington, D.C., right? I mean, these devils are calling for martial law, man. All right, now they don't realize that, these demons, all right, these Edomites, they're these so-called white people that are being stirred up, okay, to come after you Israelites. They don't realize that a lot of them are going to get caught up in this mess, man, and perish, right, during the civil war that's coming. Okay, they're gonna meet their end as well. All right. It says, in what appeared to be spurred by the recent late night attack on former Doge employee Edward Big Balls Corstein, which is all staged, who was allegedly assaulted during attempted carjacking, Trump announced on Monday that he was deploying 800 National Guard troops and temporarily taking control of Washington's police department to fight crime in the city. You know, we all know this news. All right. But this is a talk show host. All right. You know, a low-level Edomite. This Charlie Kirk represents all these all these low lives, man, all these low-level Edomites. This is how they feel, man. Okay? This is how they feel. This is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. And a lot of these Edomites, you know, all these, you know, used to call them Bubbas a lot. You know, a lot of these MAGA patriots, these Bubbas, man, they ride around, you know, the ones that ride around in these big pickup trucks, flying the flags, you know, got shotguns in their trucks. And they're ready, man. You know, they following their fearless leader. Hey, you Israelites, man, again, you in dire straits, man. You know, these are the perilous times the Apostle Paul wrote about when he was writing to his young protege, Timothy. You know, 2 Timothy 3 and verse 1. You know, perilous times have come, man. All right? But again, Charlie Kirk, you know, he represents the majority of these Edomites who are sick and tired of you niggas, man. And again, man, you know, ultimately it's the Lord who is sick and tired of you. You know, he's just using his sword. You know, the Edomites are the Lord's sword, man. So ultimately it's Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai drawing out this sword to come after you, man. All right? You can get that in the book of Psalms. What is that? Psalms, you know what? So like, yes. Let me read it real quick. Let me not paraphrase it. Let me read this. Because ultimately this is the Lord's program, man. All right, this is his show. Yeah. Psalms chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down. And that, you know, these Edomites are going to be cast down. They are going to be disappointed. These elites, the elites of Esau, the Amalekites, the Ishes, the small hats, the hook noses, they're not going to realize they're NWO. You know, they're going to be allowed to go a long way, but they're not going to fully realize it and fully have what they've been working for thousands of years. All right, they're going to be cast down, man. All right, upon the Lord's return, upon Lord Yahushai's return with the holy angels, man, in them ships. All right, arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So Esau is the sword of the Lord. All right, and again, he's pissed the fuck off and he's emboldened, man. All right, he's being stirred up. Okay, they got rid of Creepy Sleepy. You know, which this was all the plan of the elites, you know, to begin with, man. They in their minds, you know, they got rid of Creepy Sleepy and the Dims, right? And now it's their turn, man. And they're coming to take out the trash, man. And again, the Lord is getting ready to sweep a lot of you YNs, you thugs, all right, you degenerates right out of here, man. All right. Our capital city, and this is a quote from DJT, our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs, and homeless people. Basically, you know, he's calling out you Israelites, man. Now, yeah, there's a lot of Edomites out on the street, you know, so-called white people. They all messed up on meth and fentanyl. You know, that's part of the curses coming upon them. But you know who he's after, man. All right. And we're not going to let it happen anymore, Trump exclaimed on Monday. Despite violent crime falling for 2 straight years in Washington under the current chief of police, the president likened the city to the worst places on earth while repeatedly framing it as a dystopian hellscape. But let's get down here and look at what this guy said. All right, during his podcast on Monday, Kirk, one of the president's most loyal media acolytes and founder of the Maga youth organization, Turning Point USA, urged Trump to send more American military forces into other cities in short order, claiming it would create favorable press coverage. I guarantee the crime's going to go Way down, he proclaimed. And then the media will say, oh, it's only going down because he brought in the military. Exactly. We need full military occupation of these cities until the crime desists, period. Right? Again, this is the mindset of these Edomites. You wait, man. You wait until this shit collapses. And who is gonna take the fall, man? Who is gonna be to blame in their eyes? You Israelites, man. Those of you who supported, again, creepy sleepy, that demon. We don't play on any side of the, we don't play on the left side of the aisle or the right side. We ain't involved in politics, man. All right, the right versus left paradigm that's a false construct, man. They all work for the bankers. So we don't give a shit about left versus right. All of y'all are fucking demons, man. Okay? Yeah, you Israelites are getting ready to take the blame, man. All right? He goes on to say, claiming we have a big teenage problem of crime in our country. He's talking about you YNs, man. Kirk specifically spotlighted Chicago as a problem area before demanding that more teenagers be given decades-long prison sentences for auto thefts. Right? Again, man, 2/3 of our people have become degenerates, man. You can read about that. Again, I referenced Jeremiah to open up this lesson. 2/3 of our people are degenerates, man. Attacking old men and women, looting, acting like animals, stealing cars, all kinds of shit, man. Just being wicked as fuck. So, I'm trying to find this in Jeremiah real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? That's what's happened, man. 2/3 of our people. I was talking to you jakes, man. All right, and again, the tribe of Judah always gets it the worst, man. The northern kingdom gets it first, and the southern kingdom gets it the worst. All right? But yeah, man. It says, again, it says, claiming we have a big teenage problem of crime in our country, Kirk specifically spotlighted Chicago as a problem area before demanding that more teenagers be given decades-long prison sentences for auto thefts. Simple fix. You steal a car, 25 years in prison. See? All right, this is that unrighteous judge, man. Esau. All right? You steal a car, 25 years in prison. The pro-Trump pundit raised. I don't care if you're a teenager. I don't care if, I was raised without a dad. Well, you're going to go meet a new dad in jail. We're done. We're not putting up with it. We need more prisons and we need more prisoners. See? All right, they're ready to do away with y'all, man. And again, ultimately, this is the Lord's judgment coming upon you. You've been warned, man. The only way out of this is to turn to the Lord, man, and pray for mercy. The Lord has been long-suffering, man. Again, rising up early and sending his prophets, sending them out into the highways and hedges, all throughout the four corners of the earth, proclaiming, this gospel of the kingdom of heaven and calling you to repent, man. Calling you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners to repentance. Okay? Before this comes down. This is that madman. All right? Esau. Kirk also rebuked his own support for Trump's criminal justice reforms during the first administration, saying it was a totally wrong premise and it now makes him cringe at myself. Instead, he said the country needs the humiliation of criminals and to stop coddling criminals because they happen to be a protected class, claiming that we don't believe in protected classes in America anymore, Salakia. Game over. No more protected classes. Kirk proclaimed, we are all citizens made in the image of God. Oh, you're a protected class because you know different skin color. Wrong. That regime was defeated back in November. See? And again, it's all part of the plan, man. You know, martial law is clearly spoken of in scriptures. You know, second, we all know where it is. Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You know, it's coming, man, and it's already happening, and it's been happening. But again, now it's time. All right, for you Jakes, man. You know, again, primarily you so-called Negroes to feel that pain, man. Okay. Kirk, who recently slammed the White House's push to deem marijuana a less dangerous drug, further warned Trump not to just have the military symbolically occupy Washington, but calling for a true show of force in the nation's capital. Yep, the cruel Lord is on the move, man. This is the book of Sirach or Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, right? Talking to you Israelites. Only you Israelites can return to the Lord, all right? It says, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. All right, so this is the Lord's wrath being poured out on you. And this is just the beginning, man. All right, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed. You know, you're thinking you have it okay. You know, there's Jakes out here doing pretty damn good, man. Making good money. You know, nice houses, nice cars, right? What does it say? And in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Right? You're about to get caught up, man, in the judgment of the Lord. Right? So again, the cause to come back is to turn. All right? I'm going to stay in Sirach. And this is chapter 18 this time. Sirach chapter 18 and verse 20. And it reads, before judgment examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. Now that applies to the elect. All right. But you better start examining yourself. All right. And start praying for mercy. You know, and that goes for us too, man. You know, we're examining ourselves every day, or we should be, you know, looking into that mirror, spiritually speaking, and seeing where we can improve ourselves, man, because we're hoping for mercy, you know. And again, the elder apostles of Great Millstone, they've been out on the highways for 35 years, man. They're praying for mercy. How much more you regular average everyday Jakes, man? Okay? If the men of the Lord and us as the hopeful elect are seeking and praying for mercy, and we're the ones doing the work, how much more you? You know? So yeah, man. Shit's about to hit the fan. All right? And ultimately, this judgment, all right, is for the wicked, right? The wicked 2/3. Again, Esau's going to get caught up in this, man. The so-called white man and the heathen nations are going to get caught up too. But this is staying in Sirach, again, chapter 40 and verse 9. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, right? Calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked. Now, for their sakes came the flood. So this is, hey, you know, we understand that there will be prophets, okay, that will be called to be martyrs, who have been called to be martyrs. You know, Revelation chapter 20, for example, in verse 4. All right. That's part of it. But all these calamities, famine, tribulation, hey, that was created for the wicked, man. Okay? So yeah, this is heating up, man. And Just keep praying, keep seeking the Lord. The scriptures talks about that a lot. Isaiah 55 comes to mind. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. What is that, Isaiah? So like Isaiah 55. Yeah, man. So start seeking the Lord. If you're not doing so, you better start now. Because time's running out. Anyways, I'm gonna cut it. Lord willing, you was edified by this quick lesson. With that, I want to say shalom. Let's on to the next one.